They say it's better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Like, I know this one story about this teenager who was getting ready for prom and he worked really hard to get the suit, and the girl he was going with just stood him up for a 32-year-old, and he was just left sad and depressed, hanging out at home, not knowing what to do with himself, just stuck playing video games all night. He should have been having the time of his life. Poor kid, I don't know who that dude is, but there is something to say about having something, not really cherishing it, and then it leaving and never being back again in your life. And that goes the same with Destiny 2 players and with the event Crimson Days, the Valentine's themed event that was usually held around this time of year. Now, if you're a new player to D2, when I say new, I mean been playing since 2019, Crimson Days was an annual event. You know, one of those cornerstone events that are seasonal. So think the Dawning, think Solstice, and you also had Crimson Days. And Crimson Days dealt with the themes of Valentine's Day, right? And it was a lot of red, love in the air. But unlike other games that are out that kind of exclusively deal with love, Crimson Days lore is actually deep rooted in brotherly love, more compassion towards your guardians. Yeah, there's emotes with hearts and stuff, but when you get down to the nitty gritty, Crimson Days is actually a kick-ass story about two guardians. So the story kicks off on Mars with the distress signal being aired out all over the space waves. And the people that pick it up separately are actually two rival guardians. One a hunter, one a warlock. And they both enter to save who's ever sending out this distress signal. But it turns out to be an ambush. And the funny thing about the ambush is that pre-ambush, these guys saw each other. They were kind of beefing a little bit, you know, like, yo, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? I got this. Then the Cabal came out. Not just one Cabal. We're talking a lot of Cabal. We're talking Centaurians. Just surrounding these two Guardians. And with nothing left but each other, chose to hunker down and fight. And fighting is what we do best. Kind of like Space Wolverines or something. So, they commenced with the ass whooping. Waves upon waves of Cabal, facing just two Guardians. They're not. I'm talking a whole day and a whole night of just fighting. One Guardian dies, the other one reses. The other one dies, the other one reses. They're just going back and forth with these Cabal. Let me give you a quick quote of what the scenery was looking like when these two were duking it out with some of those space nasties. And I quote, it was said, black oil soaked into the sands until the ground was slick with death. Shields and armor of the dead littered the battlefield. But still, the Cabal came. They stood there until no more Cabal came. They extinguished every freaking fat, nasty, bald, weird uncle looking Cabal, all who set up the ambush. Through that event, those two previous rivals forged an unbreakable bond. They later went on to return to the last city to warn the Vanguard of the new alien threat that would be called the Cabal. This bond that these two forged, oh, don't be mistaken, they were tight for life after this. They went on collecting loot, going on adventures, whooping some more Cabal ass. And this event, where two main rivals became the closest of guardians. This is why we celebrate Crimson Days in the Destiny universe. Bungie, I need to see an animation of this dog. I mean, it would be so sick. Quit gatekeeping the lore. Reading is gatekeeping, I'm saying it right now. Alright, anywho. Back in February 2016, Crimson Days launched, with the core gameplay event being Crimson Duos, which is a 2v2 PvP style fighting match. Pretty much Crucible, except it's just one other dude with you, and you gotta take out the other dude. It was unique, and people seemed to like it a little bit. The 2v2 setup was supposed to promote co-op and collaboration while playing the PvP mode. And just like the other two guardians that were taking out the Cabal, you and your guardian were supposed to take out the other two guardians, kind of like a ritualistic execution of some sort. Don't quote me on that. I didn't see that in the book. But there was also some cool things that enhanced the game mode, such as getting the buff Heartbroken, where if one player died, you would get extra buffs to your stats to kind of help you out and win the round when you're playing Crimson Duos. And the thing that really separated Crimson Days events to the other events is that it was PvP focus. I guess it does go back to that old adage that you don't know what you got till it's gone, because we would soon hit a PvP desert immediately after Crimson Days event was canceled back in 2019 in favor for the Guardian games that premiered in 2020. The crazy warrior story was the basis for Crimson Days. There still was the themes of friendship, camaraderie, love, all that good Valentine's Day stuff if you got a person or you don't. And it was just loaded. I don't want to say loaded because it seems kind of light nowadays for the event stuff, but that's what years stacked upon years of just old uniforms and skins and shaders and sparrows. But Crimson Days did have some of that stuff, and some of that stuff was actually pretty cool. You had the bow called the Vow, like a little wink towards a marriage, and the bow being for Cupid. And there was Chocolate Ghost, there was a bunch of really good shaders. I'm not sure if they're in the game anymore still, but these are actually pretty primo shaders. This is normal run-of-the-mill Destiny stuff. You got, sparrows. So when Guardian Games finally took the mantle for Crimson Days, the PvP seasonal event model was essentially gone. And something that people kind of ceased to enjoy, even people at Bungie, which is the strangest thing of all, right? One of the main reasons they said that they're getting rid of Crimson Days was that it didn't live up to the quality of work that they expected it, which is strange because you're the developers, right? You control the quality of the product that you put out. It's not like it's so much superior to other events. I mean, I've been baking cookies for I don't know how many years now. At least we get a PvP event. Nevertheless, Bungie was set on just doing Bungie things, I guess. And the Guardian games took over. And it's been, almost a half decade now since we've had the last Crimson Days. I'm gonna say I'm a bit sad. Having a PvP focus event at least once a year, I think it'd be pretty cool. I know Sparrow Racing League for the Dawning event is a little more sought after, but I think if you just kind of let people know, hey, we're having Crimson Duos for at least 1 week during Valentine's Day, I think people would be pretty happy about that, man. Just make it a short event. I'm choosing to remember Crimson Days in a positive light. Was it the most special thing I've ever experienced in video games? Nah. But was it fun when we were running duos? Just you and me against the world. That was special, man. And I miss it. It kind of takes me back to that Warlock and Hunter, We were fighting for each other. Fighting to survive. Fighting to live another day. And when I think of Crimson Days, I think, yeah, it was better to have loved and lost than to never have loved Crimson Days at all. That is all. Thank you, I am Sleek Shadow. Please like and subscribe. I would really appreciate that. I know I'm not the most consistent video maker, but anyways, follow me on my socials. Till next time, where we have a great week. awesome month, amazing Crimson Days, and happy Valentine's Day. And that's it. Peace out, y'all.